May 2024 Predictions by Jucelino Luz. We remind everyone that omens or premonitions are not predestinations. Everything will happen if nothing changes in the near future. 1. In Brazil, new scandals continue, calls for arrest, crimes against authorities, politicians that could spread paralysis. The problem in Brazil is always the same: whoever is in power, little is changed, whether it's left, right, center left, or extreme right, or left, while supporters of political parties from different segments are fighting among themselves. All these supporters and the population in general are being harmed by the system implanted in Brazil. Those who are dominant act in this way because the political system, judicial system, constitution allows everyone the privileges, power, condition to act in that way without being harmed. If there is no change, nothing will work. The people forced to vote have no correct choice and no fair representatives there. The system makes 90% of them corrupt. They don't vote for anything in favor of the population. There is no project that is good for the people. They can come into power. Left, right, Brazil will always be behind. More and more poverty, more and more violence, more and more corruption. Only the characters change. Remember this very well. We are in an election year. Change the system and Brazil grows. Why? No more privileges. Everyone will be treated with true equality, injustice will end, resources will be directed to the right places, society will participate more, we won't have poverty, we'll have more education, health, there will be more left over for investment in the country's growth. What's more, the country is very rich. Perhaps, you don't know, it wasn't the people who removed color and Dilma, it was the system, disagreement between the people's representatives there, internal process. Think about it. They're not bothered about demonstrations, because they have no power there. They decide what they want with their vote. Too bad the voters think they're doing the right thing and they're not. 2. The cases of avian flu, contagious colds in Brazil, are worsening. It will hit São Paulo, Bahia, the Federal District, Espírito Santo, Fortaleza, Minas Gerais, Paraná, Pernambuco, Piauí, Rio de Janeiro, Rio Grande do Norte, Rio Grande do Sul, Santa Catarina, Sergipe, and there can be epidemics and deaths of innocent people. 2. Floods hit São Paulo, Minas Gerais, Espírito Santo, Rio de Janeiro, and all of northern and northeastern Brazil. In the mountainous areas there will be major collapses of hillsides, harming and potentially killing several people. 3. A powerful earthquake hits Japan, measuring 7.0 on the Richter scale, causing major storms and problems at airports. A volcano erupts. 4. Influenza, H5N1, H5N2, can break out in Vietnam and the Philippines and cause deaths. Heavy rains hit the country. 5. Heatwave with rains, gales, and a lot of destruction hits Argentina, Paraguay and Uruguay. 6. Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, heavy rains hit the country, it will kill many people. 7. Typhoons can hit some localities, with a heat wave that is beginning to cause serious problems in some countries: India, Laos, South Korea, Japan, China, the Philippines, Indonesia, Malaysia, and in some parts of Asia. There will be major problems with rains and floods, hundreds of victims. 8 to 7.0 earthquake in China hits central and/or nearby areas. 9. Attack in Turkey kills more than 20 innocent people, and attack on a building and in a public place can cause many victims in the country. Strong earthquake shakes the country. 10. Several cyclones hit New Zealand and Australia, potentially killing dozens and the heat causing serious problems. On the other hand, a series of 6.0 earthquakes hit those countries. Fire spreads in the forest. 11 to 6.0 earthquake in Fiji Island can cause casualties. Rain and heat will cause problems. 12. Mine explosion kills 40 in Russia. Strong earthquake hits the country. Attacks on schools can take away many lives. 13. Earthquake in Chile between 6.0 and 7.0 can cause fear and panic, and heavy rains in some regions. In other places the fire that creates destruction in forests. 14. Earthquake of 6.0 in the USA can cause casualties. Tornadoes hit the country in several locations. On the other hand, forest fires will destroy many regions. Several strong tornadoes could hit Arkansas, Ohio, Texas, North Carolina, Mississippi, in the USA, causing destruction and many casualties in the country. 15 to 7.0 earthquake in Puerto Rico. Strong winds and rain also hit the region. 16. Growing number of demonstrations in Guatemala, Honduras, and Venezuela due to economic problems, unemployment and against politicians involved in scandals. 17 to 7.0 earthquake in Italy can bring many victims. Storms spread to various regions. 18. Strong earthquake in Morocco can cause damage and destruction. 19. Heavy rains and floods hit central South Korea. Bus crash will kill more than 15 people. 20. In France and Spain, demonstrations on May 1st. The complaints may be about the lack of jobs. There will be several demonstrations around the world. Heavy rains hit some regions. 21. A 6.0 earthquake hits the Norwegian Sea and can have many victims. Heavy rains and floods hit some places. 22. Killer bacteria may appear in several locations. Cases difficult to understand scientifically and complicated to save lives. 23. Floods, windstorms, may hit Macapa, Rio Branco, Acre and Manaus, Amazonas. Many are without homes. There are already thousands of victims, and problems with dengue, malaria and Zika in the affected areas. Brazil. 24. A 7.0 earthquake can hit Taipei, with strong winds, storms in Taiwan, Formosa, causing a lot of damage and possible deaths. 27. In Papua New Guinea, an earthquake measuring 6.0 on the Richter scale, storms, and heat also have many victims. 28. A strong earthquake may hit Greece, heavy rains, floods devastate regions, and the heat spreads with fires in some parts of that country. 29. In Portugal and Spain, drought begins in some regions, with great force. We may see the start of fires in some regions. Forest fires spread to some regions. 30. An attack in Israel kills more than 12 and injures more than 25 innocent people. And in Palestine a bomb kills many children and adults. 31. Protests in Venezuela, and the possibility of further strengthening the conditions for a change of government. 32. New conflicts in Somalia and Nigeria kill 14 and injure more than 60 people. An explosion in a public place can injure many passers-by. 33. Earthquake measuring 6.0 on the Richter scale hits Bolivia, which can scare many, with strong winds, heavy rains. Floods can hit some regions. 34. A 7.0 earthquake can hit Pakistan and kill many people. 35. In India, a bus crash have many victims near the capital. Heavy rains hit the country and drought spreads to other regions. A strong earthquake hits the country. The Nipah virus outbreak may start to increase in the country. 36. In Haiti, rains, destruction can victimize many people. Strong earthquake hits near the capital. Increase in violence in the country. 37. Earthquake measuring 6.0 on the Richter scale hits Mexico, and there are victims. A volcano can erupt. 38. Major floods hit Jamaica, Belize, and Trinidad and Tobago. A gale will destroy some places near the capital. At the same time, the heat in some regions is having victims. 39. Donald Trump is managing to remain positive in public opinion, which can result in changes in U.S. politics. 40. In Jakarta, Indonesia, strong heat, heavy rains, floods, can cause victims and problems for the country. And a volcano gives a signal and worries the population. A strong earthquake. 41. A 7.0 earthquake hits Alaska and can frighten. A plane crash have many victims. 42. Heavy rains hit the south, Parana, Santa Catarina, and Rio Grande do Sul in Brazil, causing problems and landslides. A sudden drop in temperature brings a sky full of lightning. In one of these regions a bus crash will kill many people. 43. A 7.0 earthquake hits Tibet and the Himalayas, potentially causing damage and casualties in the country. 44. Cyclone hits Burma, Thailand, and Cambodia, Vietnam, potentially causing more deaths and thousands of homeless people. 45. Strong earthquake hits Peru near the capital. 46. Typhoon can hit Hong Kong, China, Macau, leaving hundreds dead and homeless. 47. Earthquake of 6.0 and a possible eruption of a volcano in Hawaii scares residents in the region. This volcano can expel a lot of larvae. 48. Attacks in Germany and Spain have many victims. Storm causes destruction. 49. Heavy rains with winds in Saudi Arabia, causing damage to the country, and also a possible attack in a public place can victimize many people, with the possibility of a fire in an oil tanker, power plant. 50. In Denmark, an attack will possibly kill many people in a public place, and a fire can kill people in a shopping center. 51. Heavy rains with winds can hit Bulgaria, Hungary, Serbia, causing deaths and destruction, floods. 52. In Iceland, heavy rain with floods, landslides, can cause deaths and injuries. Strong eruption causes fear with large cracks in several locations. 53. Invasion of the tides with strong casualties, heavy rains, winds, Bixada Santista, north coast with problems and possible landslides, fatal accidents. All areas of the state of São Paulo, apart from the coast, will continue to experience more instability and heavy downpours over the next few days. There is a risk of thunderstorms and lightning for all regions of São Paulo, including Greater São Paulo. In general, the sky will be cloudy and there will still be a feeling of dampness and dry, cold air. Dengue fever and strong flu cases spread to all parts of the country. Warning. The author expresses his predictions here. He is totally optimistic and positive. He is 70% correct in his predictions. What he wants to do is transform this percentage into positive energy for the human being, so that negative news can be used for learning, evolution, preparation and protection, not to provoke exorbitant levels of anxiety, anger, fear, panic, sadness, paranoia, and stress. It's ideal to learn to distinguish between what you can take with you and what you don't need. After all, we can't live completely free from the news that we think is bad, whether we like it or not. Avoiding it would be impossible on a planet where the majority of life is made up of ego, ambition, power, greed and sin. We live in a universe that moves with both negative and positive energies, which are occupying the same space in an environment, to an equal degree on both sides. At all times they will try to consume you or occupy your mind and body. Use the negative for personal transformation, preparation, protection, in order to uplift and provide for your life. Be happy, have faith, transform your path, positive.